stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome, everybody, to the HTL Cup Series presented by Team Conti Sim Sports. We would say, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore, but indeed we are, just nestled outside of Kansas City, Kansas, and near Bonner Springs, Kansas, sits the 1.5 mile Kansas Speedway. And Sim Racing Media is proud to present you all the action here with the HTL Cup Series. I'm Alan Bergen. Just south on the other side of I-70 and the other side of Missouri, here just south of St. Louis, here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio. And alongside of me, all the way from Richmond, Virginia, or nearby Richmond, Virginia, Shane Cochran. And Shane, how is it going?
It's going great. Excited to be here for this HTL Cup race. You know, Kansas is one of those tracks. I feel like when you tell people to name your crown jewels, name your favorite tracks, Kansas is one that people don't mention, but it always delivers a solid race. You've really got to lean on the guys around you to get passes completed. Multi-groove racetrack, high speeds. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And, what a better place that you could plop a racetrack. I mean, just outside of Kansas City, Kansas here. And, nearby Bonner Springs, Kansas. I've actually seen this track in person, not been to a race here yet in the real world, but drove past it on my way to the the amphitheater that sits about a half a mile away from the racetrack. But there is actually a lot to do here in Kansas City, Kansas. A lot of great barbecue, and tonight, look, I know we're all fixated on WrestleMania season and what's going on in the wrestling world, but I mean it's Monday night. I mean, if you got a case of the Mondays, we'll be here for the next at least 2 hours to get rid of those Monday blues and get you going here for the rest of the week. But nonetheless, we got a lot of drivers signed in here tonight, a good strong field, and Shane, this is one of those tracks that I just look forward to. I love the Midwestern feel around this racetrack, and taking a look at our race information here tonight, it's 80 degrees here, 56% relative humidity. So the humidity, it's somewhat a factor under a partly cloudy sky with a 6-mile-an-hour wind. Now, 6-mile-an-hour wind in Kansas, the wind's not really blowing. It's the track temperature that I'm looking at, what's 91 degrees. So, I mean, we're in the plains.
Yeah, and I think as the race goes on, the racetrack will probably cool down a little bit, as where it's about 6:30 in the evening, I think, is when this race will start. So what works on that first run might not be what gets you the victory at the end. So hope guys are ready to make some adjustments there.
Well, right now we got about 35 drivers signed in, and Dean Clavitt right now sits on the provisional pole with a 30.99. So if you want to get on the pole, you'll have to better that 30.99. And right now, as we're getting on the racetrack here, this is what Hunter Peach is looking to do here. Now, after qualifying, we got a 5-minute warm-up session, and we're hoping to talk to a few drivers here. Seth Swansing out of Peculiar, Missouri, he's one of those drivers that are signed in here tonight. So this is essentially a home race for Seth. There's your qualifying times. And we're going to go ahead and there we go. Maybe. There you go. So on the live timing tower, you can see the times that are running. As Dean Clavitt has run a 30.99. Seth Wansing comes close with a 30.08. And right now, the track record, Shane, is held by none other than Nathan Estep with a 30.32. So, I mean, we're about 6/10 off of that track record right now.
Yeah, I think you're going to need to be in drafting traffic and probably with the sun going down a little more than it is right now to be able to hit that time.
On track now, finishing up his first lap, that's Ross Baxter in that number 38 car, as he is working his way out of that turn 3-4 complex, and he's going to call it done after one lap. Carmen Sienna, don't know what happened to her, out of Cherokee, North Carolina. Angel Santiago on track out of Orlando, Florida in that number 6 car. Don't adjust your TV screens or your computer screens. But there he is. The one and only.
Yeah, I love seeing that Mark Martin throwback. You know that number 6 is always going to be fast.
Exactly, the number 6 is, I told him pre-race he's got to do Mark Martin proud. He's coming down that back straightaway so far. He's working his first lap. Right up there by the wall. He's going to like to run the high groove and take the super speedway approach to it, to his qualifying run. And Angel will time in 15th quickest.
As we see him cutting down on the apron there on the qualifying lap, perfectly legal. That apron is going to be in play all night long.
Oh, hang on to her, Angel. He's going to go one and done. Angel will time in at a 31.51. That's going to be good enough for 15th. Caitlin Height, your Daytona winner. And at number 3, Waylon Carr. Whoa, she's going to get loose. And I mean, these guys are going as hard as, and she's going to yeet into the wall. Okay.
If you're gonna wreck, do it all the way.
We don't do nothing halfway here on Sim Racing Media. She's gonna, had she crossed the line, she was already working on her first lap. Had she crossed the line, it would have negated that first lap as we're gonna get finished here with qualifying.
Well, I think they're only getting 1 lap to qualify here.
Okay, yeah, yep.
That's why we saw
correct.
so many people not going for a second one. But yeah, it really leaves no room for error on where you're going to start in the field tonight.
Absolutely not. We got about a 5-minute warm-up session. What we're going to do is we're going to hear from a couple of your favorite drivers, and I already have one in mind. I'm going to pick on him. So we're going to go ahead and move Angel to the booth. Angel, is Alan and Shane up here in the SRM booth. You got a copy.
Man, that's perfect timing. I just took off my headset too. I was ready to get up.
Well, look, man, time to 15 quickest. What's that track feel like? What is it? Loose, tight? What's the car going to do over the course of this run here tonight?
Oh, it's absolutely loose. Qualifying, there's 2 things. One, I intended to be slow, but I also forgot there was 2 laps, so it kind of worked out. But I didn't expect to be halfway through the field. It's the only problem is that it's loose when it's not out of nowhere, and it's very easy to overcorrect here. So I expect to see a big one at one point tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we got 35 cars signed in. And, it looks like Dean Clavett's going to win the pole here tonight. But,
that's my car. Let's go, Dean, 17.
what are you looking to learn tonight from Dean, having someone of that caliber be your teammate for the evening?
I'll be honest with you. My abilities are not of his, clearly. So I got to go at it at a different angle, and it's just just kind of how we talked about before the races. Kind of try to make all the laps. There's no faster pace, right? I don't think there's faster pace. Double check. No, we don't have faster pairs. Okay, I didn't think so. You think I broadcasted the race enough in here? I'd figure it out by now. But so I guess I was just trying to make sure that I stay clean of any accidents and trying to make it to the end. Kansas is one of my favorite tracks, and I think it's my best finish in HTL. So if I can make it clean to the end, I can get a top 15, maybe a top 10. We'll see.
All right, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully we talk to you on the other side.
I appreciate it. You guys have fun.
Yep, and that was the voice of Angel Santiago. We're going to get him back down to the Premier Racing Club. And real quickly, we're going to talk to another driver here. This is kind of a home race for Seth Swanson. We can find where he's at, maybe. Oh, where is he? There he is, out of the Carolina Beagle Racing team. Seth, this is Alan and Shane up here in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, look, man, from one Show Me State resident to the other, this is pretty much a home race for you. How do you approach this race more than the other ones?
Not much different. I mean, I'm 45 minutes from the track, so I just treat it like any normal race. Obviously, it's special, as you would have imagined, but just try to run laps and get Steven Oberstadt a good finish and a good points day here.
Yeah, absolutely. And with you being, I'm about 4 or 5 hours away from Kansas Speedway here, in the wonderful city of St. Louis. So go Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm in a little town called Peculiar, Missouri, so I'm 45 minutes from it. Love this racetrack.
I mean, so yeah, that's what I was telling Shade up here in the booth. I said, for Seth, this is going to be a home track. But before we get you out of here, what's going to be the secret sauce of maybe knocking, Hagen off that pedestal that he's put himself on?
John Hagen's really, really good. It's going to be tough to beat him. I'm sure he'll make his way up. Taking care of your stuff. You watched the Cup race on Sunday and you had the Darlington stripe, right? Well, you can put some Kansas stripes up here and still be in the race. But make sure you take care of your stuff and be patient and kind of know when the car is getting away from you and just manage your right rear and your right front. That's going to be really, really crucial tonight. And you're going to see a lot of different lines, and whoever works their way through traffic and kind of gets clean air is going to be king.
Absolutely. Well, good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you on the other side.
Hey, I hope I'm talking to y'all too. Y'all have a good broadcast. Everybody buckle up at home. It's National Beer Day. Grab yourself a cold Busch Light. Sorry I had to get my sponsor plug in there, even though I'm not running it tonight, and have a good night.
Yep, you too, buddy. And that was Seth Swansing. We're going to go ahead and go over our starting lineup here tonight. This is how they're going to line up on the front row. Will be Dean Clavitt. John Adams will start at second. Starting third will be out of Peculiar, Missouri, Seth Wansing, who you just heard from. Joshua Susi will start fourth. Starting fifth will be Hunter Peach. Kyle Taub will start sixth. Blake Henderson will start seventh. David Schmiel Jr. will start in that eighth position. Starting ninth will be Eli Sasak, along with Josh Arnold starting 10th. Elias Flores will start 11th. Starting 12th will be none other than Chad Swatsworth. Going a little bit deeper in the field, Matt Vonderen will start 13th, while Lily Sharp will start 14th. Blake Thompson will start 15th in that number 27 car, while very own Angel Santiago out of Orlando, Florida, will start in the 16th position. Richard Odie will start 17th, while Riley Garcia will start 18th. Starting 19th will be Ross Baxter, and to his outside will be Joshua Gaiman. Dustin Hall won this race in season 1 and 3 will start 21st. Carmen Sienna will start 22nd. 23rd we're going to Mark Kissenweather, and John Hagen, who has been on a tear in this series, will start 24th. Starting 25th will be Caitlin Height, who won Daytona. And starting 26th will be Dylan McDonald. Tyler Ratliff will start 27th. 28th will go to Zachary Apperson. Tucker Sawyer will start 29th, while Austin Mongold will start 30th. Dale Markowski will start 31st. Jeremy Baralt will start 32nd. And rounding out your 33 car field tonight will be Alfred Denny. 33 cars will take the green flag here tonight. And we are just in time to see the iRacing.com pace car pull off onto the pit road. That's going to leave Jonathan Adams and Dean Clavitt on the button. And we are agreed. Oh, one more lap.
I think they added a lap to make sure they could get in some EOLs and penalties, I believe. I heard some chatter about it. But also noticing our buddy Angel still on pit road.
He might have missed the start. This is the second night in a row I've Steve Harvey to start.
Yeah, usually it's a rush to get everything finished, running through the lineup, get all the tidbits in before the race to be ready for that green flag. They gave us an extra lap this time.
We're going to bring in some awesome onboard shots here tonight. Dean Clavitt in that number 17 onboard starting from the pole. John Hagen with the Team Conti and Accent on board, starting deep in the field. Caitlin Height with the Whalen lights on board, and now they're going to come through the 3-4 complex. And Shane, there's only one thing left for us to do, and that's to wipe the visor, pull the 5-part harness. Grandma, grab some corn and settle in, because race fans, it's show time. And already Dean Clavert has pulled out to half a second lead over Seth Swanson out of Peculiar, Missouri. And Shane, these guys are, well, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide almost.
Yeah, it's pretty calm at the front, but back in the pack, we saw 3 and 4 wide on that first lap. Everybody trying to get that track position early so they can make their way to the front, especially if you're one of these drivers that had to start in the second half of the field. You got to get everything you can now.
There's a good
Angel is out on the track.
I was going to say, there's a good buddy Angel. He started from the pits. And Joshua Susi going to go quick time with a 31.05 in the opening stages of this race. Angel starting, well, 2 laps down. And you got Seth going all the way up to the, what we would call the cushion in the dirt world. He's going to take that number 8 and just head up high.
You could see how much momentum he got running that high line. I think that's going to be a trick you can use all day long here at Kansas.
Definitely.
Really just kind of, I was just going to say, really just kind of fits your driving style, where you're more comfortable. You can get some speed up there on the wall, but you better make sure you don't get loose and slap into it.
Well, Seth Swanson going to take the lead from Dean Clavert and that number 17 step on forward. And that's the most, Dean Clavet's got the most expensive car on the racetrack right now. If you get the joke.
Oh, it looked like he thought about looking inside and stayed back, and that's going to allow Jonathan Adams to peek to the outside. He's looking for P2. All of them really getting some momentum. When you're the leader, you get that clean air that helps your tires stick in the corner, and then yellow comes out right there.
Richard Odie.
Oh.
Let's see what happened to Richard. Oh, no. Let's see what happened to Richard. We're going to back this up just a hair and see where it started here. Let's right there looks good. As I just let's try this again.
Yeah, looked like contact with the 54. Started that off, and then almost didn't have a chance to fully save it as the drivers behind him just coming with a load of speed. Hard to avoid a guy getting loose in front of you.
Yeah, there it is right there. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Really nowhere for the 29 car was like saying, hey, I'll go low. Oh, I'll go high. Where are you going to go? And then it's too late.
That's what I call collateral damage.
It's going to be our first caution of the day. Just 7 laps in.
So everybody from Caitlin Height on back came in to pit road. Angel Santiago will get one of his laps back, as I'm 95% sure he started from the pits. Want to thank everybody for joining us here in the YouTube.com live chat. Let's get those bells ringing, those likes, shares, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your neighbors, share with Santa Claus. I mean, it's a little early for Santa Claus, but he likes to watch some racing media, okay? He's got the internet in the North Pole. Ross Bastards in the pits. Ross will more than likely be coming out here. He's still on the lead lap. Taking that early tires, trying to make that fuel tank last a little bit longer. As those lights are out on that iRacing.com pace car.
Yeah, as they're coming through turn 2, the 2 car dove down to pit road there to make a quick stop. As I'm looking through the field, there's a handful of drivers around 15th position. Dylan McDonald, Zachary Apperson, Austin Mongold, Tyler Ratliff, and Jeremy Brault. They have all gained, 9, 11, 12, 13 spots since the start of this race. So they are the ones moving forward so far.
Well, nonetheless, working their way through that 3-4 complex. Seth Wansing and Jonathan Adams will be bringing the field back to green here. Spartany's got the green flag in hand. Let's hope we can keep this color going a little bit longer. The iRacing.com pace car pulls off into pit road. Seth Wansing, Jonathan Adams brings the field back to green flag, and we are racing here at lap number 9.
That's a second restart or start we've watched here, and that inside line where the leader is just gets a great jump. Outside lane really struggling to keep up there, but that 81 car is coming with a head of steam on the outside of the 91. Jonathan Adams and Joshua Susi.
Well, here comes Blake Henderson.
There he is.
Starting to catch up. He's looking to go 3 wide. And
got a wreck in the back of the field, maybe.
We seen the smoke.
Screaming on the radio.
We saw the smoke, but we didn't see the fire. Now you got Joshua Susi making a run at the lead here, and Seth Wansing is on defense. And here comes Blake Henderson strapping on the proverbial hairnet, getting ready to serve lunch to both of these guys. Give the lead to Joshua. Seth Wansing looking to battle back on the inside. Blake Henderson going almost to the outside. So we still got smoke, but no fire just yet. And we're going to see this right here. A little 3 wide action with no contact.
Yeah, the 3 cars kind of get together here. Just a lap or 2 ago.
Oh, no.
That's what we heard the drivers complaining about. I heard wreck, wreck, wreck over the radio, but they all stayed moving, so no caution. But really ruining the race for a handful of drivers there.
And Zach Apperson's night just went bad.
Yeah, he and Dustin Hall both with meatball flags having to come in and get that taken care of.
Well, Elias Flores just went quick time at a 30.87 back here in around 23rd position in that number 99 car. Seth Wansing going to retake the lead from Josh Susi. This is the battle right now. It's pretty having a battle. Laps into the books here, Shane, and no shortage of action here tonight.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty great appetizer so far over this race. We would just see side-by-side action, and whenever someone takes the lead, they're not pulling away, right? This is 1.5 mile racing, so that second place car is going to get in behind you, draft on the straightaway, and try to guess which line you're taking in the corner and take the opposite one to get around you.
The thing I love about 1.5 mile tracks is this car races so well on this racetrack. At look, if a part of a racetrack is paved, here comes Blake Henderson looking for second and maybe a 2-for-1 special on his way through that turns 3-4 complex. I got to think better of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Seth tried to squeeze up in front of him there on the backstretch, and Blake tried to take advantage of it, but wasn't able to get it done, as now Seth is back on Joshua's bumper. Drivers just trading it back and forth.
Yeah, just so you can see how close they are. You know, it's almost like I feel like it's going to be a tire game tonight. Not so much a fuel issue, but more of a tire.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You can see Seth on exit there, lifted right before the end of the corner, and that's because kind of anticipating the 81 car to slide up in front of him, take away some air and downforce. You got to be careful when you run the high line like this. If the guy in front of you swings up in front of you right at turn exit, it can throw you into the wall with the loss of downforce. You see, almost tagged the wall there. So we watch riding along with Blake Henderson in P3.
Oh, Seth gets really loose there as we are on the roof cam of Blake Henderson. And I feel like this is a really good view to watch this battle. Blake's definitely got the best seat in the house to it.
Seth looking inside. Ooh. If he didn't touch the wall, he just about did.
Knocking the wall down.
Using every inch of this racetrack.
And a little more. Joshua Susi and Seth Wansing drag racing down the back straightaway, doing it John Forrest style. This is, you know, Shane, this is one of these races where you hope you don't see a lot of caution flags because the race is just so good.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw that early caution and some contact there later with no caution, but oh, the 8 car really getting loose. Yeah, we're kind of in that space now where everyone's spaced out. You're kind of getting to know the drivers that you're going to be racing all night long.
Blake Henderson mired in that 4th position right behind Jonathan Adams. He's going to try the outside. He's going to try that Seth Wansing line, if you will.
Yeah, maybe got a little bit of that
the
strike we heard about pre-race.
What a slide job by Jonathan Adams on Blake Henderson.
We heard it in that pre-race interview with Angel that these cars are loose. That's definitely how they're driving, but the way the next-gen car carries so much momentum and loses it when you lift, you can't afford to get all the way out of the throttle even when you are sideways.
Yeah, so that's where downshifting really helps you out. Here comes Hunter Peach to the inside in that Logitech number 20. He's going to go to the inside of Blake Henderson. He's going to get 4th. The top 5 have all but, single filed out.
Just as you say that, almost 4 wide. David Smeal Jr. coming up to join the party.
Enter Dave Schmiel and Dean Clavitt, your pole sitter. 3 wide, coming out of 4. Dean Clavitt's going to get that 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, can we get a closer look at this 31 paint scheme? This thing is hot. Hot wheels, in fact. Is that glow and fire?
Oh, dude, that's
I'm gonna have to get a die cast of that one. That is a good looking scheme. Reminds me of the like the bumper car paint job at the county fair. The sparkles and metallic.
That is so cool. We go on board with Dave Stroll Jr. out of Madera, Pennsylvania.
Seth really getting high and tight there. Losing a couple positions here at the front. And the 20 car kind of tucked in behind him and also lost some momentum there.
You know, right now at this stage of the race, I just feel like you're at a disadvantage running a high line. Meanwhile, back at the front, or back at the ranch rather, Josh Susie sitting high, wide, and handsome. Zachary Aberson being currently scored 33rd. He's taking an extended stay like Holiday Inn on the pit road.
Seeing, looks like Dylan McDonald might have had some trouble around lap 24. See if we can dig up what happened to him.
Absolutely, I got it right here, queued up, ready to go. Dylan McDonald, he's going to go ahead and yeet it into the wall.
Yeah, that's going to be heavy damage on the left front. I'm not sure that's going to be repairable.
Well, just as you say that, here comes Joshua Gaiman working his way to the inside of Seth Wansing there in that number 8 car. He's going to do a little side job of his own. Seth Wansing losing wholesale positions, going 5 spots in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I'm a little curious here. I mean, early on we saw the 8 and the 81 battling, pretty much running the same lap times together, but the tires seeming to go away here for Seth. As we're now 29 laps into this race.
We got to be getting close to that fuel window. I know Seth right now is just trying to hang on there and with those Dr. Feel Bad until he gets some Dr. Feel Goods. Dean Clavitt, your pole sitter, he is battled all the way back to, well, 3rd position, working his way underneath Jonathan Adams. Let us know who you're rooting on there in the YouTube.com live chat. We'll do our best to get them on camera here tonight. There's a lot of great looking paint schemes. Caitlin Knight up 10 spots here. We're going to highlight her. And Shane, this is where the sun starts to go down here in Kansas.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're seeing cars in the wall. Almost looks like the track. I would have expected the track to kind of speed up a little bit, but at the end of this tire run, everyone is struggling.
Well, just as I say here, back at the ranch, here comes Dean Clavitt and Jonathan Adams. And enter David Schmiel Jr. in the Hot Wheels machine. That's a great looking paint scheme right there. I think this might be my new favorite paint scheme.
It's pretty sharp.
Makes me want to go out and buy Hot Wheels again. I'm not going to lie. We should be nearing the portion of green flag pit stops. Mark Swanson checking in. Let's go, Shane Dub. Here's that number 8 car. You know, and talking to Seth there at the top of the show. I mean, I don't give a rat's hoots who you are. I think being that this is his home track, 45 minutes away, from the track in the real world. I think your home track makes you drive just a little bit harder to put on a show for your friends and family. It's almost like you get home field advantage.
Anything that's close to home, close to the heart, you want to push a little bit harder. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself.
I mean, look, I get that way when we go to Worldwide Technology Raceway. Or even on the dirt side when we go to Federated Auto Parts Raceway and some of the dirt leagues I run, you know, being 15 minutes away from the racetrack, you know, that place holds a dear, dear spot in my heart. Well, unfortunately, there, Shane, we have our winner to the race to the beer stand, and it's going to be none other than Season 1 and Season 3 winner Dustin Hall. Only completing 10 laps here tonight. Look, it's a race you don't want to win, but someone's got to win it.
Yeah. Always prefer to have my beers after the checkered flag than before it.
As Dustin Hall, I'm sure Dustin's not too happy, but, you know, nothing to say he can't root on his teammates. So we are 37 laps in, 36 into the history books here. I'm Alan, he's Shane, and you're watching the HTL Cup Series. We are going to go ahead and step aside, take our first commercial break of the night. You won't miss a thing as we go side by side. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. You're watching the HTL Cup Series presented by Conti Sim Performance, and just a little bit ago we had some action here. Let's take a look at a couple replays. This is Ross Baxter, some heavy contact.
We had some questions in the YouTube chat about what happened to Ross, and I went back and combed through the replays. Looks like way back on lap 3, had some contact with the 3 car and got in the wall.
There we go. And looks like he had a little help from his friends.
Yeah.
Almost saves it, really. And
Yeah, really unfortunate way to start it there, but
and then while we're away, Carmen Sienna misses penetry. You know, Shane, it's so hard to get these cars loaded down. And that's going to be enough safe pit entry.
yeah, it's one of those things where even when you do it in practice, it's still not quite the same as getting on pit road at the end of a tire run in traffic. And the first time you try to do it on the green flag, it can jump up and surprise you with how hard it is to get the brakes on these cars and get that car slowed down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Patrick Overset in the YouTube.com live chat says, damn, referring back to the Ross Baxter incident.
Yeah, as we're kind of watching the field here, we're seeing green flag pit stops going down. The top 10 or so have not pitted yet, but a lot of drivers are. It looks like that fuel window is going to be somewhere between 43 and 48 laps for most drivers. Keep that in your notebook for later.
I don't need a notebook. That's why I have you. No, Shane Cochran answering all the hard-hitting questions for YouTube.com live chat. And, well, Angel Santiago started way back here, 2 laps down, started from the pits. This kind of, his strategy tonight was run all the laps. He got one of his laps back on that early caution. And here he is. All the fenders, don't have a scratch on the race car. Doing Mark the Kid Martin proud. And I know I'm going to do a shameless plug for Shane Lake, our good old buddy Shane Lake, who, if you get a chance on YouTube, go look up Snowman in the Morning. And this is so awesome. So they've been trying over there for seemingly a few months to get Mark Martin on their show. And we'll come.
Sorry, Alan. Looks like we have a yellow coming out just now. Riley Garcia involved.
I was going to say, we're going to come back to that story. But here's Riley Garcia on the apron, and around it goes.
Oh. Really bad luck for that car. I didn't quite catch who that was.
That would be
unable
really
to get
sharp in the 19 car. Hope she's got to get a chiropractor because she's going to need one. Come back out to the live picture here. Lap 54. We're only under our second caution of the evening. So, back while they're riding around under the caution, we'll go back to the story. So they've been trying for what seemingly was a couple of months to get Mark Martin on there. So they sent Mark Martin an invite to the show. And they see that he's on. And I asked Shane Lake, I said, did you fangirl? And he goes, not until the end. So that was cool to see Mark Martin on their morning show that they do. You can catch that around, I'm going to say around 8 or so, but just be on the lookout for it. Our good buddy Shane Lake on there and going through some hard times. Hopefully he gets better soon. But nonetheless, he'll get back there and be better than ever. Here's that Lily Sharp and this. Oh, she tried to Days of Thunder. Well, Shane, when we go back to Green Flag Racing, that's going to put Mark Kissenweather up in the top spot.
Yeah, that yellow really threw a wrench into some of the pit strategy there. If you were pitting just before it came out, I think you're in a pretty good position.
Well, if you were on pit road, window caution came out or coming down pit road, you probably screamed abort, abort, abort.
Oh, yeah, but if you just pulled out of your spot, which I think a handful of drivers had just done as we were going through that cycle.
You better go play the Powerball. Because you just got lucky.
So we see all these drivers taking the wave around. That was everyone that was already a lap down because they had pitted. Coming around now as we're a half lap back to green.
It should be the 95 car and the 12 car taking the wave around. Oh, no, wait. We're good.
No, they're the leaders. Kissenweather and Sawyer up 22 and 27 positions. Hey, this is it seems like you always catch bad luck. Every now and then you get some good luck, and see what they can do with it here as the green flag is dropping once again.
There we go. Just like that, we're back to racing here on lap number 57. This time, Mark Kissenweather is going to get the whole shot on Shad Swatsworth. There are 290. Okay. And they're 3 wide. Thinking about it anyways.
Oh, and we got a couple cars in the wall.
And that's going to bring out our third caution of the evening.
Austin Mongold and the number 29.
Blake Henderson.
Involved.
Oh! Oh! Shane, that hurt my back.
Yeah. We've seen a couple wrecks here. Even the single car wrecks into that inside wall. Got my muscles tightening up.
I'm not even in a race car, but let's go ahead and back this up on board with Blake Henderson. Right there. So here we are crossing over the start-finish line. And you can see kind of where this all starts to go down.
Oh, it's actually... what I saw is I think the 31 up in front of them got loose, and some of these drivers checked up in response to that, and some didn't.
Oh, man. Oh. Either way, that does not feel good in the morning. We'll get us into the top 10 right now. If you had Angel Santiago being in the top 10 on your bingo card at lap 60.
Hey, put in the work. Made sure he got to that lead lap. And then maybe stayed out a little late on that caution there, and that really just puts you right in a great position.
Another quick look at the weather. It is roughly 7:22 on 78 degrees. The track temperature has come down to 83 degrees, but the humidity there is 63%.
What this really should do here is all those drivers that had to stay out to take the wave around to get their lap back because they had pitted early and gone a lap down now have a chance to put fresh tires on with even a 3 or 4 lap advantage over our leaders. So we should see the field start to compress as the fresher tires in the rear catch up to the older tires in front.
Yeah, definitely this race will have a lot of comers and goers in it. Angel's there holding his own, sticking to the game plan, just park it on the trailer the same way it came off.
Yeah, the driver's radio channel was really lit up on that last caution. A lot of people upset and frustrated with these cautions, and I'm happy to say that driver's radio is now turned to kind of friendly banter and joking around. So not everybody having a bad race, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you what, though, if you're Mark Kissenweather and Chad Swatsworth, you're having a little bit of fun up here.
Yes, sir. Don't look now, but that 97 car John Hagan is now in the 4th place position too.
Well, Shane, as the iRacing.com pace car gets ready to pull off in that turn 3 and 4 complex, there's the yellow flag in the air one more time. Barney's going to switch that one out, grab the green. As we are getting ready to go racing here on lap number 61. To the Geico restart zone, Kissenweather, Swatsworth, controlled field, we're back to green flag racing.
Really some great technique there by Barney on that one.
I mean, you got the most important job of the night.
He gets a lot of practice. Is
Over
there 3 wide? A little bit of contact. Say, hey, you want to tag fenders, just take it. I'll get out of your way. Still 84 laps to go here. A long way to race. It's Hagan up to P2.
Things are going to start to settle down here, but if you go a little bit further back to this Caitlin Height area, oh, they're trying to get all they can get. 3 wide, 2 rows. And a little bit of smoke, no fire there. Things start.
Really been an exciting night of smoke screens and contact that aren't bringing out cautions.
Oh boy. How about Angel Santiago venturing out there to the high line, falling back to 13th, holding his own, started off 2 laps down, he got those laps back, and here he is. It's not wrong to be a little bit biased up here in the booth.
Oh, Angel kind of crowding the 8 car there. They're going to keep it clean.
3 wide. 3 wide again. And here, maybe 4 wide? No, not yet.
Yeah, I think when you get in those 3 wide situations, the best place to be is up top. The next best is on the bottom. I do not want to be in the middle here at Kansas just because you don't know how much room the guy on the outside is going to give you. You don't know how hard the guy on the inside is going to push on turn exit and kind of come up into you. Not much you can do but hold on.
Well, hold on what Angels had to do. We got a couple cars bailing off to the apron there. Not bad, not bad.
And I'm hearing John Hagan yelling slide job over the radio. He has taken the lead over Kissenweather.
And we're going to see just how that happened just momentarily. And yellow. Oh, no.
Oh.
Angel Santiago is showing crashed on our live timing. Let's see what happened here. Oh, no, Tyler Ratliff.
Oh, come back together.
No fast repairs.
Hearing the 54 on the radio saying his spotter told him he was clear. He sure didn't look clear from where we were watching.
Yeah,
but
I don't like calling people out, but I mean, Ray Charles.
It does happen, right? You get a little net code, visually and physically. There's also a little bit of net code lag for spotters sometimes, and there's not much you can do about it when you hear clear and you think you got it.
We're gonna go on board with Angel here. I mean,
they almost were able to squeeze through, but
he didn't get that much damage.
Yeah, it's just going to depend on when they kind of had that T-bone contact, what that did to the radiator.
Let's back this up here. Let's get what Tyler Ratliff saw. We'll stop it right about here. I have a hard time believing that a spotter caught him clear.
Yeah, I've seen it happen. But there's not much you can do about it now.
Angel Santiago on pit road. Well, guess who's going to put that up? Guess who's going to be in the front when we go back to green? The hometown boy, Seth Wansing, in that number 8 car.
Yeah, this has kind of reset the field a little bit.
Patrick Oberstadt. No, I'm not going to read that one. We are
a couple drivers choosing to stay out here. That's how they got up at the front. That's Seth, Bailey Thompson in the 27, Kyle Taub, Matt Vorndren, and Jeremy Brault. All on 10-lap tires. Actually, Bailey is on 20-lap tires. Maybe he was saving a little bit under those cautions, and gonna see what he can do with that.
Bailey Thompson out of the 27 car. Seth Wansing in the 8 car are going to have control of the field this time when the iRacing.com pace car pulls off on the pit road here. We're coming down that back straightaway. Patrick Oberstadt saying, look at that 60 car. Godzilla chiming in. Mark, the iRacing merchant, Kissenweather. How is he doing? Well, Mark Kissenweather is solidly in that top 10. Nonetheless, Barney's got the green flag in hand. The iRacing.com pace car pulls off on the pit road. And we are back to green flag racing here on lap number 71. And they are 3 wide once again, looking for more.
3x3. Oh,
Oh.
somebody smacked the wall there. Couldn't tell exactly who it was, but could have been anybody the way they're racing right now.
How about the 74 car there, Jeremy Brault, riding with Taco Bell?
Yeah, I like those purple flames. Never hate a visit to Taco Bell myself.
Never went to Taco Bell?
No, I'm saying I've never hated a visit that I've had
okay.
at Taco Bell. No, I'm gonna go back, get this Dorito Loco, get the Choco Taco dessert, Baja Blast, and head home.
Here comes John Hagan. Look at it outside of Seth Watson there in that number 8 car. Angel Santiago put it back on pit road. That might.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I said it might pay Angel's fun meter for the night.
Multiple drivers get turning their personal fastest lap of the race right there. The sun is down on most of the track, if not all of it. The speeds are picking up here with fresh tires. And Hagan to the lead. He is the car of this group at the front with the freshest tires, coming down on that last caution.
You know, Seth Watson going back up to the top hasn't really wavered from that line. And now he's going to be mired to the outside. And yes, he's going to follow Bailey Thompson in that number 27 car.
Yeah, and the action is not slowed down all night here. The HTL Cup Series presented by Team Conti, as we're now past halfway. 71 laps to go. The 8 car in the wall, going to lose 3 positions.
Ooh, that's going to be a man. It's going to be a tough road to hoe. Angel Santiago taking a part-time season this year, driving various team cars for himself. And he entered picture and up 19 spots, Caitlin Height in that Wayland number 3 car.
Caitlin started back in like 25th or so. Really been methodically working her way up to the front.
That's what she does. She did it at Daytona and won it. John Hagan, though, to the inside, getting everything he can out of the racetrack. Here comes Seth Watson battling back there, right around that 6th position.
Yeah, this is a dangerous pack of cars right here.
Over
Bailey
3 wide.
Thompson on those 20-lap older tires than everyone around him. The 8 car haven't been in the wall a couple times with maybe a little bit of damage, but they're all carrying speed.
Well, here comes, give that top spot to Joshua Susie. And I tell you what, there is more action right here at the front of the field than there is at a Waffle House at 3 a.m. And I know I'd probably beat that line like a dead horse.
No, just like I say, it just depends on the Waffle House. Depends on the race.
Lap 80 of 145 laps here. We're nearing. I wish this thing had another 60 laps to it. Let's put it that way.
Well, if we stay green here, we're looking at 1 green flag stop, and it's going to be 2 full fuel runs to get there. Should be pretty exciting, as these leaders just cannot get away once they get in front. This train of cars behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Here goes Joshua Susie. And Seth Watson going to make a run to the outside. He's got a little bit of help from the 12 car. Oh, hey, on there, Mark. iRacing Merchant Kissenweather as Godzilla says in the YouTube.com live chat. Want to thank everybody. Go ahead and smash those likes, subscribes, and get those bells ringing. So you see great action like this every Monday from the HTL Cup Series. We're at 3 wide once again. Entering the picture, Caitlin Height.
Oh man, sparks flying, smoke going. I'm a little surprised I haven't seen more cars using that apron on the front stretch. Seems like Hagen's the only one really comfortable going down there. Is now, just as I say it, a whole bunch of guys and drivers thinking, hey, it's time to go down there. That looks fast. Now that the track temp has come down, we're just not seeing these cars be as loose as they were at the beginning of the race. They look tight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know they have to race. They have to battle the racetrack. Now this might play really well in the Seth's hands here, as I think he likes a tighter race car.
Yeah, these two getting a little bit of breathing room there on that lead pack.
Just as you said, here comes Caitlin Knight battling Jonathan Adams and Mark Kisselweather in that 12 car. Here's the 28 car on your live timing.
Yeah, this is just so challenging because when you've got a driver right on your bumper, you have to play as much defense as you do offense to make sure you're taking a little bit of air off their nose so they can't get around you, get beside you, and slow you both down.
Jonathan Hagan making another run at that 8 car that Seth Watson out of Peculiar, Missouri. To the inside, he's going to get it. They're going to run 2 different lines. Seth Watson staying true to the outside. Jonathan Hagan going to slide up at the door. He's got to set that pass up one more time.
Another puff of smoke. Cars so close together, can't even tell who is tagging the wall back there.
Right now.
Whoa.
Oh boy. Just as you say that, they're still battling out, trying to figure this one out. As John Hagan and Seth Watson going to do it John Tour style, going to turn number 1 and 2, and then on down the back straightaway.
Hagan back in the lead. I feel like Caitlin has been working on Mark Kissenweather the last few laps. Got to be getting a little frustrated here. It seems like she has some speed to get around, but just isn't able to complete the pass. As now those leaders are coming back to join the party with these other leaders here in 3rd and 4th. Kissenweather going to look low on Seth Watson. Oh, but the 8 car going to carry momentum off. Caitlin looking low. Oh.
Maybe 3 wide? Maybe?
Just, I don't know how they're making it stick. Caitlin going to use the apron to get down low once again.
So 3 wide again.
They are 3 wide.
The only driver that benefits from this right now is John Hagan. He's doing John Hagan things up there in the front.
You can see the 81 car is kind of swapping back and forth, trying to decide who do I want to push? Who's going to give me the best chance to get up there and battle for the lead?
Well, while these guys get this all sorted out, we're going to go ahead and take our, what will be most likely our final break of the night unless the coach comes out. We're going to go side by side. You want us to sing here on Sim Racing Media? We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway as we are bringing you live action here from the HTL Cup Series presented by Team Conti Sport. I'm Alan Bergen. Alongside me, my brother from another mother, Shane Cochran. And while we was on break, I got a little message here. Caitlin Heights gets a little loose here on the exit.
Battling with the 9 car. Right as that banking disappears, gets loose and comes down into the 9 and gets a little contact there. She's been to pit lane. Makes some, I guess she's still there. Get some repairs done, but that's going to be probably going to take her out of contention.
So break for the driver of that 3-car, Caitlin Height. She was looking to have a good night, but John Hagen doing John Hagen type things up here in the front. It's a 3-horse battle. We're going to be commercial free for the rest of the night. We just finished up our second and final commercial here.
As we're now 33 laps into this fuel run with 45 to go. If your tires are worn out and you think you need them, we should see some drivers starting to come. Especially, there's a handful of drivers that are actually have been on their tires for 40-some laps. I think Bailey Thompson's on pit road now. He was 20 laps older than everyone else, if you remember, on that last restart. So time's run out there. He's got to hit pit road. He should be able to make it to the end from here.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Jonathan Adams still running second. They're kind of spread out. Jonathan Adams looks like he's getting a little bit loose, but no worries.
Yeah, we saw Hagen do the same thing the lap before, just kind of get in the wall and not able to get off of it too easily as the 8 car hits pit road.
And Seth Swansing out of Peoria, Missouri on pit road right now. John Hagen doing John Hagen type things, hitting high, wide, and hands and up there to lead. Dustin Hall, your season 1 and season 3 winner, will win the race to the beer stand tonight. And like I said, it's not a race you want to win, but someone's got to win it, unfortunately. And tonight is definitely him. Eli Sasak there in that number 9 car. Engine number 9. Currently running 3rd.
Yeah, got some company there behind him too.
Yeah, in the form of Mark Kisselweather and David Schmiel Jr. There's the eyeball test from, Schmiel from Sasak to Adams. Dave Schmiel Jr. going to go underneath that number 9 car here. Mark Kisselweather going to take the top, and this is going to be a battle for 3rd. It's funny how things come full circle in the course of this race.
It is. We've just seen so much movement in the field as the 91 hits pit road. Jonathan Adams. At the time, he was the only top 5 driver who started the race in the top 5. Everybody else moving up pretty big chunks of track position to be there. As we're now setting up for that. Whoa, a little bit of contact between the 9 and the 31. Kissenweather going to take advantage down low.
Still 3-1 trying to figure it out.
Get in front, but maybe a little love tap there from the 31. Gets him up high, and they're going to make it work.
That takes talent right there.
Smeal on the radio doing his best Shorzy impression. That's what it sounds like to me.
You finally made me laugh. John Hagen kind of blinking and going to pit road. See, once you get the first one-liner out of the way, then they come to you in your sleep.
Yeah. And as these folks they're 41 laps or so into this run with 37 to go. Now is the time I think I want to come. I want to split it right down the middle, kind of maximize the tires on both runs.
Yeah, I think we did that last night with the Icon Cup Series, and that strategy kind of worked.
31 on pit road. A handful of other cars, the 2 of Josh Arnold, the 12, the 99, 95, and 74. That leaves Kissenweather out front. It's almost a 3-second gap back to second.
All by his lonesome.
And as always, we're kind of in that place where if you stay out, you're taking a gamble. You're kind of hoping for a caution to trap everyone a lap down and let you get some fresh tires while they take a wave around. But if that caution doesn't come out, you are giving up time every lap being on old tires.
A little bit deeper in the...
Oh, I was just going to say the leaders that last lap about 1.3 seconds off their best time on old tires. So not a huge amount of drop off, but hey, a second and a half almost every lap you're out there on older tires. That starts to add up.
Richard Odie going to come on pit road. Dean Clevett's going to take the race lead. And he's got Dale Markowski and Joshua Sutsy right behind him. I mean, just nearing the end here, we've only been racing here for about an hour now. Somewhat uneventful, Shane.
Well, just 5 drivers up at the front yet to pit. John Hagen leading the charge for those who have come into pit. But he's still a lap down.
Yeah, right now, Dean Clavett not on pit road yet. Let's see here. Dale Markowski not on pit road yet. Joshua Susie not yet on pit road. Hunter Peach, Tyler Ratlow, Jonathan Hagen. John Hagen working on getting his lap back to Hardway.
And he's coming. Again, those fresh tires should make quick work in the 81.
They make
A little
contact.
tap. Look at him weave his way through there. He's going to take that lap back. Hagen now the only one safe here if the caution were to come out now.
I mean, he's hoping not, but if it does, I think he's in great shape.
Yeah, Hagen not too happy with that door banger from the 81.
I wouldn't be either. I'd be like, one more time, you're off the Christmas card list. I would really love to see that one more time, Shane, if we can.
Oh, sure.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Dale Markowski continues to lead. Joshua Susie continues to run second, and Dean Clavitt continues to run fourth. Hunter Peach now getting into the mix. They've got to come down pit road sooner or later. Markowski and Peach coming down. And here's that contact once again with John Hagen and Joshua Susie. Now John Hagen's trying to get his lap back. Susie going to bounce off the wall, and it almost looks like a little bit of net code, but they did definitely bang doors.
And no harm, no foul. Susie now the leader as Clavitt comes to pit road. He's now gone 50 laps on this run. Now a handful of those are caution laps, but I'm not sure how much longer he can stay out there as he dives down to pit road. Easily make that commitment cone.
So that's going to give the race back to John Hagan.
And it's going to relieve a whole lot of drivers from that trap of being a lap down through the green flag cycle.
So we are approaching that 25 lap mark. We have 27 laps to go. Run, Angel, run. Angel going to get out of the way.
Yeah, at this point, Hagan's in the lead. He's got some of the freshest tires in the field. Kissenweather is the only driver in the top 5 with fresher tires, just 3 laps better. But he is 3, almost 4 seconds back behind Hagan.
Well, we got 26 laps to go here. John Hagan continues to lead here. And his closest competition is Joshua Gaiman, who is some 3 or 1.5 seconds back, 25 laps to go. And you got to wonder, when does this field get bunched back up?
I don't know. They've made a pretty good habit of some good green flag racing here. .33 car not quite able to match the pace of Hagan out front. 0.2 slower that lap. But Kissenweather was 1/10 faster than the leader. Now 3.4 seconds back. He's going to need 0.2 a lap to catch him before the end, though.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're John Hagan, you're sitting high, wide, and handsome. And, well, if you're Joshua Gaiman, the sands of the hourglass is starting to run out.
Yeah, kind of an identical setup that lap. Gaiman 0.2 slower than the leader. Kissenweather 1/10 faster than the leader. All 3 of those drivers in the top 3 have gained 18 or more positions from the start, using those cautions and pit strategy and raw speed to climb into the top 3.
Yeah, look at Mark Kissenweather back here in that 3rd position.
Now just 0.3 behind Gaiman, and he is cooking. Gonna look low. Not gonna waste any time here as he sets his sights on John Hagan. And if you're wondering, like, hey, why'd the 33 let him go? Why was that so easy? That's an 8-lap tire difference. And you can see it right there, just how easy it was to get underneath and just pull up in front of that 33 car.
And there you see it on the graphic.
Yeah, nobody with fresher tires than Kissenweather there in that top 10. Uh-oh. Caution is out. Fuel strategy out the window. Tire strategy out the window for the most part. I I think after seeing that, everybody on the track has been out there for 16 laps. We just saw how fast an 8-lap difference can be. I think everyone's going to be coming down pit road for this one, as we have just 20 laps to go here at Kansas.
That's going to slow the field down. So here's the situation you wouldn't have dreamed up in a month of Sundays. We're going to more than likely have a different top 5. As I imagine a lot of these guys are going to come down pit road. And here's the reason for the caution.
Nice. Group of cars racing hard. The 20 got loose, and before he could save it, the 83 making a little bit of contact there. That's tough. And we kind of saw a wreck very similar to that earlier in the race, where that car in front gets loose. Drivers behind them just not having time to lift, or not being willing to lift with just 20 laps to go. That could really ruin your momentum to lift for the guy in front of you. Kind of hoping he gets himself straightened out. You can squeeze by on the outside.
Well, we got wholesale pit stops.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think you want to stay out, but it looks like the 81 car did stay out with 9 laps on his tires. We are setting up for an exciting finish.
There's Angel Santiago in that number 6 car. He's looking to maybe get a wave around and go 4 laps down. Joshua Susi going to be the leader when we go back to green.
I think so.
So this is a whole new front row that we haven't seen in a minute. Joshua Susi, David Schmiel Jr., Alfred Denny, rocking a new paint scheme today.
Yeah, I think we need to give a little bit of a shout out to Ross Baxter. We saw him getting in the wall on lap 3 of this race. We're now on lap 129. He battled all the way back to beat the only car 1 lap down, sitting in the lucky dog position. That isn't a terrible place to be based on how many cautions we've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, only 5 cautions for causes that iRacing.com pace car lights are out. And Shane, guess what you get to do? This isn't a free ride here, buddy.
As Barney puts away the yellow, stretches his arm out once again. The sun is all the way down, but the action is turned all the way up as we're coming back to green here at Kansas, out of turn 4. And there they go once again, led by Joshua Susi in the 81 down low. We'll see what those old tires can do here, as they're already looking to be 3 wide right behind them.
As I say,
right to the top.
Joshua Susi might be a sitting duck right now.
As Hagan now goes underneath the 31, making his move back up to the wall here on exit. 31 not going to let him go as Susi dives down to the apron. Smeal trying to take second back from Hagan. He wants his shot at the leader.
Well, they got 15 laps to do it. John Hagan gets a little loose. Here comes Dave Schrull Jr. second.
There's a new player in town, the 21, Alfred Denny. Fighting in the top 4, gets the wall a little bit there.
And enter that number 8 car, working the high side. He's all the way back there in 7th position. Still has 14 laps to get back to the front. Would almost have to pick off a car a lap.
Nobody holding back now. Susi turned his fastest lap of the race on that restart. This 8 lap or so older tire is not making too much difference right now.
Oh, they're driving it like they stole them.
8 more drivers just turned their fastest lap of the race.
Flag is
Yellow's
out.
out again. Oh no. Looks like the 12 car of Matt Borndren is the slowest back there on coming into turn 3.
Gets loose and
there it was again. Pack of cars, the lead car gets loose. The guys behind him just not having a chance to check up. Collecting a few more along the way.
it's almost like it's a self-cleaning racetrack.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, if it cleans all the cars out.
Joshua Susi finds himself back in the front. Does he go down pit road this time by, or is he kind of, you know what, I made the bet, I'm going to lie in it?
I think we saw the speed out of that 81 car. I'm not coming to pit road if I'm him.
He's not coming to pit road either.
If I had lost a few positions or something there, maybe, but he looked pretty comfortable out front.
Yeah, he did look a little sporty on that last run. We're going to come back to green with single-digit laps to go. Man, what a race this has been.
Yeah, action-packed side-by-side racing all race long as we see Baxter taking that lucky dog to get back on the lead lap.
What about, Ross Baxter there, the story of the night, gets involved in an incident on lap number 3 and battles all the way back and gets that lucky dog.
Yeah, and I mean, he's going to have a chance to put 4 fresh tires on it as the lucky dog. Nothing to lose. You're going to start in the back either way. We have a handful of other drivers hitting pit road as well. Bailey Thompson in the 27. The furthest up of those drivers.
See if the lights are going to go out on iRacing.com pace car this time by. Once the pace car hits pit road. Or hits the start line. There we go. We're going to get doubled up here, Noah's Ark style too, by team behind the iRacing.com pace car. Seth Wansing in the start on the outside of that third row. Joshua Susi and John Hagan gonna bring the field to green here as we work our way down that back straightaway here in Kansas. We're gonna come back to green with 9 laps to go. And this is my favorite time of the night. It is bottom of the fourth quarter, 2 minutes to go. Jet planes in the gymnasium. Get ready. This is when you've watched the real race right here.
Yeah, we still got 22 cars on the lead lap. Susi, the only car kind of on an older tire strategy. And then the top 15 on the next strategy. So 16th on back, that's going to be Tyler Ratliff, Bailey Thompson. They're the ones on 4 fresh tires, so we'll see what they can do. But I'm expecting this not to stay single file for any longer than a few seconds, as everyone's going to be trying to get everything they can here on this restart with 10 laps to go. Pace car is on pit road once again, and the green flag is waving as we exit the Geico restart zone. The 81 car getting a great push from Smeal. Hagan trying to keep up on the outside. They are going to squeeze each other for that second position. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Josh Susie.
Oh, boy.
But even side by side, they have a ton of momentum down the backstretch.
9 laps to go. Here comes John Hagan to the outside. He's going to slide up. They make contact.
Oh,
Susie.
my Lord.
David
They're
Schmidt
still
Jr., the
going forward.
beneficiary. We got
Oh,
trouble.
no.
23 car. Save it, save it, save it, save it, save it, save it. And that's going to
Wow.
bring up the yellow.
I mean, there were 3 or 4 wrecks there that got back going straight before the yellow came out.
Joshua Gaiman involved in this one. Let's see what happened. Oh, boy. Gets into John Hagan. And they just stack him on up there.
Yeah, well, just so much contact there on that lap.
There's the wreck happening in front of Angel Santiago. And,
Oh, nowhere to go.
nowhere to go. Angel's night goes from bad to worse. 7 laps to go, and the 7th caution is now officially out. David Schmiel Jr. is the beneficiary on that exchange. Eli Sasak also the beneficiary. Alfred Denny up 30 spots. The biggest mover of the race. Currently sits in the catbird seat there in that number 20 or that number 21 car. And he is carrying our Xbox on board cam here tonight. As we got 6 laps to go. We got less than a dirt track heat race. As the truck sends me another little nugget here.
Yeah, this was that first bit of contact that kind of kicked off things here at the front. The 97 going to catch the 81. The 81 gets loose on exit. They both get in the wall, but keep it straight. As everybody compacts down into the corner, that's where the 8 and the 33 get together. And then they just can't stay out of all the charging stampede of cars behind them.
Back out to the live shot. Alfred Denny changing it out from the Reese's to the Xbox.
And this is completely shaking this up. The top 3 completely different than this last restart.
David Schmiel Jr. going to go to the outside. Eli Sasak going to go to the inside. I feel like iRacing needs to choose cone.
I'm sure it's on the way. As much new things they're working on with the updated UI and the updated shaders and everything. You know, everybody's kind of asking for that. At least start it, in the dirt series and let them figure out the glitches and the kinks.
Sure, just give them a choose cone in the dirt series, and then we'll try it out in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Let us be the guinea pigs over on the dirt side.
Well, that's where it started, right? Choose cones were more of a dirt thing for as long as I knew about it.
So, real quickly, the cone that you see on the dirt track, that's your restart zone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you got the official that runs the cone out, and it's tied to a string. And they cannot pass until they get past that cone. That's how the cone works in dirt track racing.
Well, here we are once again, lined up for a late race restart with 5 laps to go, coming to 4 at the line. Now Smeal is going to lead him on there on the outside. We've seen the inside line be dominant on restarts all night long, with the 31 making the outside work with Susie right there on his bumper. And they're 3 and 4 wide already behind him. Getting it sorted out on exit. The 81 still able to get speed out of those older tires.
Where on, as I say, where in God's green earth did Team Climate come from?
He's been lurking.
More contact. Seth Watson hard into the wall. Please stay green.
Caution? That looked like we're definitely going to have to take a look at that after this one gets sorted out. It's the 81 wiggling back and forth.
David Schmill Jr. coming out of turn 3 and into turn 4. This time by the popsicle sticks in the air. We have 2 laps to go.
Jason Weather getting a pretty good draft and set up a run here in the corner. Gonna stay high, try to keep his momentum going. 31 slides up in front of him. He's in the wall.
Susie gets loose.
Woo.
David Schmill Jr. out of turn 3 before the popsicle sticks go down and the white flag comes out. We're racing back to checkers.
Jason Weather in striking distance. What can he do?
Oh, this is far from over.
He's going to have a big run if he can keep it off the wall.
To the inside.
Looking low. Oh, not quite clear. 31 going to squeeze him down.
They're going to drag race.
Side by side to the finish. Oh, I think it was Kissing Weather.
We got to see that one again.
Wow. There was so much going on there. We saw the 8 car slam the wall about 100 miles an hour on the front stretch. Not bring out a caution.
There it is.
They're slamming doors all the way to the finish. Both of these drivers on the radio celebrating that incredible finish.
We're going to back this up just a little bit. And then we'll go. There it is. Mark Kisselweather just by less than a fender. Let's take a look. We got a lot to digest down here before we get our interviews going here. Let's take a look at what happened to Seth Swanson. Here, as he's going to come down. Alfred Denny's right there, and it's almost like he's going to get that apron. And
yeah, I think the 74 just didn't expect another car to be down low.
No.
Comes down to maybe get to the apron, and that catches the 8.
Just pancakes the right side of that race car. Nonetheless, as we got 2 of our 3 drivers in here, let's see if we can get our race winner here. Mark Kissenweather, it's Alan and Shane up in the booth. How's it going?
It's going great now.
Well, look, man, what a finish that was there at the end with you and David Schmiel.
Yeah, that was. I was getting a little nervous coming to the white flag because we almost Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson on the backstretch coming off of 2. And I was like, well, can't do that same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and watching the replay, I mean, it's almost like who's going to get back to the gas quicker, you or Schmiel, but nonetheless, edging him out just by a fender. That's how close it was. Congratulations, man. You were definitely the show on the last lap.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought it was over when I got that speeding penalty. I was just so mad at myself. I went like maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour over, just completely lost focus and was like, oh, it's over. But I took 4 tires and just full sent it.
Well, look, man, before we get you out of here to celebrate that win with your teammates, who do you want to thank to help you get it done here in the 12 car?
I'd like to thank Coulter's Cards, Tub Graphics, Go Time Cards, and Militia Racing Club for keeping me focused and getting the win.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations, and go celebrate that win with your team.
All right, thank you.
We're going to get him back down to the waiting room. And Shane, you, my friend, have David Schmiel Jr.
David Schmiel, you got Shane and Alan in the booth. How you doing?
Probably a little disappointed in myself, but can't complain with a P2.
Yeah, I mean, that was just some fantastic racing between you and Kissenweather there. We saw everybody getting faster as the sun went down. I think you actually had the fastest lap of the race with 2 to go. How were the cars handling out there, and how did it change as the sun went down?
It seemed like as the night went on, the speed picked up a little bit. Everybody had a little bit more grip, especially cold tires. It seemed like the car was pretty comfortable as long as you took care of it. But no, it just really came down to who was able to take care of their stuff the best. I mean, that first stage, myself, Susie, Dean, and Adams, we all kind of drove away from everybody to maintain the tire, and always those valuable stage points. Can never get enough of those. Second stage, I think we ran into a couple cautions that threw the strategy off, but I mean, overall, the car was pretty good tonight. I got really comfortable on that bottom seam just riding. I know there was a couple times it got a little hairy, but overall solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats again on the podium finish. I think the other thing we'll mention is we are loving that paint scheme.
That was a little bit of late inspiration. I just took my kids a couple days ago, and when we bought the tickets, I was like, this would make a really badass paint scheme, and I was glad it looked as good on the broadcast as it did in the paint shop.
Oh yeah, we were zoomed in at one point, really taking it in, so we enjoyed it. Who you want to send some thanks and shout outs to tonight?
A whole bunch of love to everybody at GRD, the whole Lady Liberty team, Susie, Gaiman, Katie, our surrogate driver, Dean, even though he wasn't with us tonight. As always, Gibney wasn't here tonight, but shout out to the boss. My wife, my boys, the people who let me go do this on a weekly basis. It's always fun. Shout out to Blake and Al for dealing with the circus every week. And obviously you guys for the broadcast. Definitely hurts to come home P2 leading at the white, but after losing a couple good finishes this year, I'll gladly take a podium, and I think next week we move on to Nashville. So another mile and a half, I should be able to flex my muscles again.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
And that was the voice of David Schmiel Jr. And last but certainly not least on the podium tonight, finishing in that 3rd position, Eli Sisak. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Well, P3, and you probably had the best seat in the house for that last lap battle. Take us through that last lap and what were you needed out of the car to potentially get that 2-for-1 special and be at the top of the podium?
I think I could have been up there if I think I was faster than both of them. Maybe not faster than Mark, but at least faster than David. But I think the restart was kind of what caused me to not have a better finish. Starting second on the inside is just not a very good combination for getting a good restart, and kind of just caused me to drop back a few positions that I had to remake. And I think if I had just a few more laps, I would have been up there with them, or and maybe could have had a better shot of contesting for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week we move on to National. What's your thoughts as we move on to the National Super Speedway that races like a half mile, or a mile and a half, rather?
It's going to be interesting. I think the closest race we've probably had to that would be. It's hard to say. It's a very unique track. I believe we're going to have to use a little bit of the brake or a lot of lift. It's very narrow. Going to be concrete, so it's a little bit of a different surface, and it's going to be interesting. I think I've ran there in the Indy cars a few times, and I felt comfortable. So we'll practice once the setup comes out later in the week and kind of see how we're feeling.
All right, man. Before we get you out of here, to anybody you'd like to thank to help to get it done here on the 9 car?
Of course, I want to thank everybody here at Ascent Racing. It's been a fantastic season so far for us, and John has been incredible. Both of them have been incredible. Elias and Tucker have been pretty good as well, even though Tucker's a part of it, technically a part of the sister team as far as points goes. But everybody at Ascent Racing _ on Twitter, go and give us a follow. Everybody who puts on this show here, my family, my grandparents who watch every race, and Blake Henderson for giving us the chance to race out here every Monday.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and we'll see you next week at Nashville.
Thank you.
Shane, that's going to about wrap it up here from the Kansas Speedway. But before we go, we got one more piece of housekeeping to take care of, and that's the final finishing order. Is Mark Kissenweather will finish first. Up 22 spots, David Schmill will finish second. Eli Sisak will round out your podium. Joshua Susi will finish 4th, right where he started at. Jonathan Adams 3 spots to the bad, while he'll finish 5th and round out your top 5. Jeremy Baralt will finish 6th, up 26 spots. 22 spots, Tucker Sawyer will finish 7th. Dean Clavitt will finish 7th or 8th. Alfred Denny will finish 9th, and rounding out your top 10 will be Elias Flores. Kyle Top will finish 11th, while Dale Markowski will finish 12th. 13th, they'll go to Chad Swansworth, while John Hagan will finish 14th. Ross Baxter will finish 15th after a lap 3 incident put him several laps down and he battled back. 16th will go to Bailey Thompson. Seth Wansing out of Peculiar, Missouri. He'll finish 17th. 18th will go to Tyler Ratliff. Looking a little deeper into the field here. 19th to go to our very own Angel Santiago, while Richard Odie will finish 20th. 21st to go to Joshua Gaiman, while Josh Arnold will finish 22nd. Matt Vondren will finish 23rd, while Caitlin Height will finish 24th. Hunter Peach will finish 25th. 26th will go to Lily Sharp, and Austin Mongold will finish 27th. 28th will go to Riley Garcia. Looking a little deeper into the field. There we go. 29th will go to Blake Henderson. Carmen Sienna will finish 30th. 31st will go to Dylan McDonald. And winning the race, well, 32nd will go to Dustin Hall. And winning the race at the beer stand after only 9 laps of competition will be Zachary Aberson. Shane, final thoughts before we get on out of Kansas.
I mean, this was an action-packed race, great racing, one of the best finishes we've seen in a while. I think the surprising thing is, as I pulled up the stats, there were only 7 cautions. It sure felt like there were more, but there were so many contacts and people getting into the wall and things that didn't bring out the yellows. Just a nonstop action here tonight with HTL Cup Series.
Yes, and we're going to close this one out, but don't forget to tune in next Monday night as we head just about 5 hours south of the Tony Sherpasso Memorial Studio, just south of St. Louis, as we go to the Concrete Palace of Nashville Super Speedway. For myself and Shane Cochran and HTL, and each and every day as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.